OpenAI is screwed, but everybody at OpenAI is going to be fine. Basically, if you're not familiar with what's been going on with OpenAI, the board of directors went in and fired Sam Altman kind of out of nowhere. And Sam Altman was like the CEO. He's a very important person. And like all of the employees loved him dearly. And it was a whole thing. So they fired him, claiming that he was not transparent with the board of directors, claiming that like they would ask him to push certain things or to change certain things, and he either wouldn't or wouldn't respond to them in a timely manner. They basically said he was just unprofessional, wasn't a good CEO in their eyes. So they fired him kind of out of nowhere. And then all of the employees at OpenAI were like, the hell are you doing? And freaked out naturally. And so all of a sudden they started posting, all of these employees for OpenAI started posting, OpenAI is nothing without its people, which is true. OpenAI is just like a brand that you put on top of the talent. It's not anything else. So once this happened, it came out and people started leaking that if they did not reinstate Sam Altman by 5 p.m., by the end of business day, on Friday, I believe it was, that they would all be quitting. Oops. And again, like when like the engineers and the developers just leave, there's nobody to train. Like all of you guys, I'm sure, have worked jobs where when somebody's leaving, they often train their replacement, or even if they leave or are fired or something, and then you come in to take their job, there's still somebody to train you how to do the job because they might have another person there. With this, like, it's OpenAI, they can hire, the board of directors can hire more people, more software engineers and stuff to come in. But if all of the previous employees are just gone, it's going to take so long to figure it out. There's just so much crap going on with it. Check out Elon's new tweet. I see SpaceX stuff. I don't see anything from him on this. But anyway, so the board of directors then starts immediately trying to backtrack and figure out what the hell they're doing. And apparently one of the main reasons for this was because our good old friend Satya Nadella, you guys remember Satya with all the Activision Blizzard stuff? This guy is like one of the most impressive businessmen of this century that you might not even know about, but he heads Microsoft and he is a wizard of acquisitions, of strategic planning, of long-term strategy. Like, this guy is more big-brained than Bezos. Like, Bezos had a lot of really talented people around him. The biggest move Amazon ever made was investing in Amazon cloud infrastructure and AWS. And that was something initially Jeff Bezos turned down and shot down, and he didn't want to do it. He didn't think it made sense. And eventually he was pushed into doing it. And now they make, like, most of Amazon's money doesn't come from Amazon.com. Most of their money comes from AWS, which backs up like Netflix. If you watch Netflix, you're using Amazon servers and stuff. So, you know, Jeff has been helped a lot, but Satya, who also has an amazing team, Satya himself is a force of nature. And apparently when he found out that the board of directors at OpenAI had fired Sam Altman, he was not a happy camper. He was big mad. Big mad. And when this guy's big mad, you're in some serious duty when this guy is big mad. So Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI, which means that they can't actually like make the final decisions. They can be outvoted. They own 49% of it. But if the board or other shareholders still want to overpower Microsoft's vote for something that OpenAI does, like keeping Sam Altman as CEO, they can be overpowered. And that's what happened here. So what happened is Satya goes to the board and is like, fix this, dumbasses. And they go back and forth, because basically what would have to happen is that the board of directors would all likely quit and resign, and they'd have to be replaced. And then in order to rehire Sam Altman, they would have to issue a piece of paper saying that he didn't do anything wrong and that he was fired in error, basically, which brings up many issues legally for them, because if he did in fact do something wrong, now they're liable for it. There's all sorts of weird lawyer crap that goes on with it. So they don't want to do that. And they also don't want to quit and lose their position as members of the board of OpenAI, one of the hottest companies in the world right now. And so they dragged their feet. So Satya said, screw you guys, I'm going home. And he went home and he called Sam Altman. And you know what happened? Microsoft just hired him. They hired OpenAI former CEO Sam Altman. Greg Brockman also is joining Microsoft, and they're going to be part of a new advanced AI research team. Now, what's really freaking hilarious about this is that in the span of just a couple of days, Microsoft has effectively directly acquired all of the talent behind OpenAI for $0. So for free, they've acquired all of the talent. They have basically shut down OpenAI as a competitor now. And just this morning, since all of this news broke, Microsoft's market cap has spiked something insane, like $140 billion. Like, to put that in perspective, I think Sony's market cap is like $110 billion. So they just straight up like got an entire Sony for free. Luke, I'm just worried that ChatGPT won't work anymore and I won't be able to do my projects for school. That's awesome. The talents at OpenAI are the researchers, not the business people like Sam. The problem is for OpenAI is that all of the researchers want to go where Sam goes, because in like, especially new ventures, the CEOs and the leadership are much more important than in like big established corporations. So for startups, for example, or smaller, new, fresh companies that are very high energy, like OpenAI, it's often driven by the CEO, by the charisma of the CEO, the vision, and all of the employees can kind of get behind that CEO to back them up and to be their advocate and everything. Whereas, you know, for big established companies, you look at something like Activision. I mean, the quality of Activision's work has been plummeting, and they have a CEO that most employees openly despise. Like, speaking publicly, they're like, yeah, we hate our boss. And it's just super, super toxic. But in the context of like smaller, high energy, growing companies with like groundbreaking technologies that are doing some incredible stuff, often they're driven by the power of leadership that they stand behind. And in the case of this, I mean, again, the moment it was announced that Sam Altman was leaving, all of the researchers at the company started protesting and signing petitions to quit and go wherever Sam Altman goes. So him moving to Microsoft, they'll all just move to Microsoft. And you better believe Microsoft will find the money in the budget to sign them on. It's just an example of, I don't even know if it's just overconfidence or if it was stupidity, but they really thought they could just blindside fire their CEO and see no repercussions for it. And it's been speculated, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's been speculated that perhaps he was let go because he didn't want to monetize it fully. There's been demands by some people to like open the ChatGPT algorithms and stuff so that they can, for example, scan or write much longer texts. So you could have it write a 5,000 word essay for you instead of whatever it is now, like 500 words where it's capped off. So there's a bunch of little things they wanted potentially to push him to do in order to increase the monetization of ChatGPT that Sam Altman flatly refused to do. And now they're going to be screwed and they're paying the price, which is crazy. It's crazy. So out of all of this, the real winners, Microsoft. Like, Microsoft got ChatGPT and OpenAI researchers and developers and everything basically for free, just because. It's madness. It's madness. Yeah, the whole OpenAI madness is looking like it's calming down now. And here we are. I mean, they're basically acquiring OpenAI without buying the company, which is like, it is the dream for a company to acquire a competitor or acquire a company they want while getting rid of any remnants of that competitor company without having to pay for it up front and getting it for free without regulatory hurdles. Because again, like if they were to buy OpenAI fully, there could be lawsuits just like we saw with the Activision deal where it's like, no, this will give Microsoft an unfair advantage, blah, blah, blah. But now they just get the talent and they build their own company and there's no regulatory anything. Microsoft's lucky. At this point, I don't think you can say Microsoft is lucky. I think Microsoft is just led by some crazy good managers that make this look easy. But seriously, like in business school, I read a lot of books about Jeff Bezos, about Satya, about the different management styles and leadership. And no joke, like there is a reason Microsoft is a multi-trillion dollar company, $2.81 trillion. And I mean, you can see like over the last 5 years, even just casually marching it up 266%. It's crazy. While many other companies are struggling or plateauing, like people are freaking out because Apple is super stagnated and are making really weird choices. Meanwhile, Satya is like marching into AI and emerging technologies. And Apple can't seemingly figure out how the hell to get like voice to text working. Am I the only one that tries to do voice to text on their iPhone and it doesn't work at all? It's like amazing the basic mistakes it makes. It's like, oh, you said fence, but it thinks that you said fork. And so it just misspells it and then adds in a bunch of screwed up punctuation. And so for me to fix it takes longer than if I just typed it out manually myself. And this is after they said they had a new neural network engine, whatever thing. It's like Apple. And for security reasons, I carry a business phone and a personal phone. The business phone is an Android, personal's iPhone. No joke. The voice to text on the Android, ridiculously good. Way faster too. Like most of my scripts for videos and emails and everything else, I do with this, and I will actively like search for where this phone is sitting instead of doing it on my personal iPhone because it's so much better. It's ridiculous.